Hi homemakers, it's Josephine, and this video I have been trying to film a few times now, but I want to be able to be clear and concise with the message that I'm putting out there, which revolves around the idea that dreaming of the future and looking forward to the future does not mean that you are wishing away your youth, you are wishing away time with your children. It doesn't mean that you are wishing away the present. It doesn't mean that you are not engaging with the present. In fact, I think it all has to do with how you're looking forward to the future and how you are looking at the present. There is a level of manifesting in the physical only sense that I think plays a part here. I am not a fan of the idea of spiritual manifestation. I think that's getting into some new age stuff, but there are physical activities. We can see actions we do ourselves in the present lead to a certain outcome in the future. If you paint one wall each day, and maybe you do it like 2 coats, whatever, each day of a certain color you want, depending on how many walls in your room. There's 4 in my room, after 4 days my bedroom will have all 4 walls painted. That's kind of a very clear way. There's aspects of projects that I do around the house where I do it just a little bit by little bit, those are the examples that I want to give to you to show that anything I'm talking about here today has to do more with physical actions, and any level of manifesting is related to that, because I'm not going to put looking forward to the future along with that. It's more maybe a little bit more escapism, but it's just looking forward to the future as opposed to wallowing in the present and feeling as though this is all that there is. Because I will tell you, as far as having newborns, it is incredibly frustrating. There are so many people who, after they have their newborn babies, maybe now they're grandparents or something, but once they're done being in the newborn phase, you'll have these people telling you, oh, you're gonna miss it, soak it up while you can. It's like, I am so sleep deprived that I am falling down in the house as if I just chugged a whole bottle of wine or two by myself. That's how sleep deprived I am. I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss the blowout diapers. I'm gonna miss the postpartum smell. No, I'm not gonna miss that. And if you are in the phase of having young children, there are going to be hard times. And I think something that has helped me to power through those hard times is to know they are not forever. This is temporary. This period of time is temporary. And so when they are sleep depriving you, and they're also tired and cranky, or they are literally a tiny baby, it won't last forever. It's going to end. And it's okay, I think, to daydream about someday you are going to sleep in. They're going to get older. They're not going to want to deal with you. Or you tell them, when you wake up, we start cleaning the house, when they're like 10 and stuff and teenagers. And it's like, okay, when I wake up this weekend, we're cleaning the whole house. And guess what? They're not going to wake you up as much, possibly. My mom, even, I am so glad my mom is like this. But I think one of the good things that she has done is told me, I'm sleeping in on the weekends now, and she told me that it does get easier. And there's a lot of people who say, no, it's not easier to have teenagers. It's completely not easier. I appreciate the nuance that my mom gave me, which is, it's different. A lot of just the being at home is easier. The physical toll on the body is easier. Maybe some of the emotional conversations that we have had, me and her, as I have grown up and stuff, where we butt heads, that's probably more emotional because I didn't just look at her as like my savior anymore. I didn't just go to her for everything. As your kids age, like that first, I hate you, mom, that can hurt. But it's different, and it's okay to look forward to things changing. One of my midwives said, God gave us the teenage phase so they butt heads, so that you go from the clingy, like, oh, my kids are so sweet now, to butting heads and like, what, I'm looking forward to you going out on your own. So just me whacking a pencil around the but yeah, it's different, and it's okay to look forward to it. I think a very realistic or tangible example that I have, that probably a lot of people have gone through, is when illness is running through the house. How many times have you told yourself, oh, all those times I took for granted the fact that my throat doesn't hurt, or the fact that I don't just have pain by walking because I have so much like bodily fatigue and lethargy and malaise. Or like, man, I really appreciated when my head wasn't pounding or keeled over the toilet throwing up, and or possibly out of both ends. And if you are the mom or dad, the fact that you have to clean up with the kids too, especially when they're young. And we all know that that's going to end, and you know you're going to get better. I think it's okay to look at the hard aspects of life, the hard periods and seasons, and realize, okay, I am doing this for a reason. I am raising people who are going to become independent adults. I'm raising them to be self-sufficient, and this is hard, but the payoff is worth it. And that's okay. Someday you're going to sleep in. It's going to make it easier to handle the fact that they are not, and it's going to make it sweeter. And when you have the opportunity to sleep in, I think it's going to help make those experiences, any level of like vacation type experiences, feel better. And I understand the nuance between going on a trip with kids and going on vacation. So anytime I visit family with my kids being young, it's like it's a trip, it's not vacation. But yeah, I don't miss the diapers I no longer change. Like, I'm not gonna miss that. I might miss snuggling my little babies. I'm not gonna miss changing dirty diapers. Like, I'm not. I don't get joy out of that. But knowing that they will be self-sufficient with using the restroom the same way I am, it makes it easier. It's like, okay, even though I'm doing this day in, day out, it's not going to last forever. And it also makes me excited to then start the process of going towards being potty trained. Now we're going from blowouts to now we're going into accidents, like getting up at night, trying to potty train throughout the night or just the day. Sometimes there's going to be accidents. It's not going to last forever. It's part of the process. When you're exercising, getting tired, you're getting done. And you're using like 5-pound dumbbells. You keep that up consistently, it's going to get easier. You start raising the weights. Eventually, a 5-pound dumbbell is going to be nothing. And it's the same thing with anything else. And even like when it comes to home projects, so I can elaborate on this subject for quite a while, but it can make you appreciate. Uh, like I painted my front porch, and it sucked. And the way that I did it was a little bit by little bit because I needed to be able to do it while having the 3 kids, and my youngest was still breastfeeding. But I did a little bit by little bit so that I wasn't neglecting them because I still had to be their parent. And as much as it felt like this is taking forever, I want this to be done, I did it. I mean, there's still a few railing pieces that I actually need to put back up, but for the most part, from the road and everything, even just being on it, it's like done. It's gonna need one more touch-up coat this year, but I got a few other things, like, so that's just home maintenance in general. I did that, and now it's done. That's a tangible experience of me doing a little bit of frustrating hard work where I wasn't able to make the interior of my home nicer because I was focusing on that outdoor project. To have a nicely painted front porch. It's helping preserve the wood. I also stained the bottom, and now I get to enjoy it. And all last summer, my family loved being out there. And it took me a good, 4 months to get the bulk of it done because I did a little bit by little bit. But I would just encourage myself, like, okay, every day I go out here and do this is another day closer to getting done so that me and my family can enjoy the porch by the time summer rolls around. I mean, the same is true for everything else. And I think the last example I'm really going to use for this is, when you're cleaning the same mess every single day, draining. Oh, we're dumping toys. We're throwing toys in the toilet, really? We're throwing things away. How many sippy cups are we going to lose? So then we have gone through 4 sippy cups just for water in one day. And you got to clean them by hand. But you know what it does? It's teaching you how to become very efficient. It's teaching you to do things quickly and to be able to honestly disassociate, because at this rate, my kids are still, I still have kids under, like a baby under 2. So I mean, I guess he's a toddler, but the level that I can just clean while having an earbud in and listening to something is incredible. And you have to think to yourself, not only are you showing example to your kids, you know, it's important to take care of your things, your home being one of them. But the other thing is, when they do eventually move out, you're going to have even more time for yourself. You have learned to clean things. You might be able to now, if you have to hand wash a whole bunch of items. I mean, maybe you won't, but I'll just show you something. Like me personally, one of the benefits to getting really good about cleaning things, hand washing them, and doing it right away, that was a skill. I used to let things fester and get gross to where stuff would be growing in the straw, stuff would be dried out inside, and cleaning it is even harder. I learned, because of having to do it with them, it's like, okay, I know I need to get on top of like just taking care of the sanitary line items in terms of cleaning up. And now I can get these freaking little silly cups that you have to hand wash only, and cleaning straws, and I do it, and I've done it so much that it's just easy to do. So if I want to have fun trinkets or just like interesting mugs or things or delicate items like fine china that I actually use, I can clean it and take care of it, and the idea of maintaining it isn't so daunting. So when my kids move out, I'll be able to have a home that has a much more curated collection. I mean, I personally really do like very artsy fartsy kinds of things around the house, but they oftentimes need a bit more level of care. Everything I am doing to stay on top of cleaning, whether it's hand washing items, getting stains out, and taking care of stuff. The other thing too is like patching holes in drywall. I am going to be able to maintain my house so much faster. That's nice. So, you know, as they're older, like I can have guests over. I can maybe host more events because I'm not going to be concerned about the state of my home. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm going with this. I know I gave an example in regards to like fitness, and there are so many instances where you have a personal identity, like with painting, with hiking, with traveling, where with kids, there seems to be like a hiatus, or it's definitely altered. And I do fully intend on doing some videos on those niches in regards to this kind of mindset shift. But yeah, I think looking forward to the ease of the future, or getting out of the hard stage, really just teaches you to respect the hard stage of now and to appreciate the effort that you're putting into the present tense. Does not mean you're willing away your present. I think it kind of breaks up the wallowing in the present day tough. It breaks up the feeling of this is this all my life is? Because it's not. And reminding yourself, no, this is not all my life is. This is just a period of time. The same way winter is not forever. And subsequently, if you're someone who is a total, like you totally hate the summer or whatever, like, you know, the weather's gonna cool down at some point. I guess unless you live near the equator. Anyway, I hope that this video was helpful. If you have any comments that you would like to share about it, or any takeaways that you got, or however you think about it, I would love to see it down below. I appreciate you making it this far and watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye.